Welcome. Take a slow breath and allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. This episode is not merely an introduction to a book. It is an opening, a threshold, a quiet doorway into a field of reflection that invites you to think, to feel, and to awaken. The work we are entering today is called Food for Thought. Question Everything. And its deeper purpose is simple, yet radical. It is to help you reclaim your own mind, to help you rediscover your own inner authority, to help you see beyond the conditioning of society and beyond the habits of unconscious living. This book is not designed to give you ready-made answers. It is designed to sharpen perception, deepen awareness, and awaken wisdom from within you. It invites you to pause in a world that never pauses, to reflect in a culture that rarely reflects, to question what most people accept automatically, because the spiritual path does not begin with belief. It begins with awareness, and awareness begins with questioning. As expressed in the spirit of the book itself, every reflection is meant to serve as nourishment for your inner life, a mirror, a map, and a spark for transformation. Let us now gently enter its deeper field. At the heart of this work lies a profound recognition. Human beings live inside invisible structures, mental patterns, emotional programs, social expectations, cultural conditioning. Most people move through life without ever questioning these structures. They live as if reality were fixed, as if their identity were defined, as if their beliefs were self-evident truth. But the seeker, the awakened soul, begins to notice something else. They notice the prison of habit. They notice the automatic reactions of the mind. They notice how perception itself is shaped, filtered, distorted. And from that moment, the path of conscious evolution begins. This book is an initiatory training in awareness through reflection. It does not present one single teaching, but rather a vast constellation of insights, psychological, ethical, spiritual, practical, each one a gateway into deeper understanding. You encounter reflections on discipline, patience, courage, integrity, compassion, self-awareness, and inner silence. These are not merely virtues in a moral sense, they are energetic structures of consciousness. Each virtue represents a frequency of being, a way in which the human soul aligns itself with harmony, clarity, and power. To cultivate discipline is to stabilize attention. To cultivate patience is to harmonize with time. To cultivate courage is to transcend fear. To cultivate compassion is to dissolve separation. To cultivate self-awareness is to awaken from unconsciousness. In this way, personal development becomes spiritual alchemy. You are not simply improving behavior, you are transforming consciousness itself. The initiatory journey within this work unfolds in layers. First, you begin observing yourself, your habits, your reactions, your beliefs, your emotional patterns. Then you begin questioning what you observe. Why do I think this way? Why do I react this way? Who placed these ideas within me? Then comes a deeper shift. You begin to realize that identity itself is not fixed, that personality is shaped, conditioned, programmable, that perception can expand, refine, and awaken. At this stage, the seeker moves from passive living to conscious participation in life. You begin shaping your character deliberately, training attention, developing clarity, refining emotional intelligence, strengthening willpower, opening intuition. Gradually, the scattered personality becomes integrated. The reactive mind becomes observant. The fragmented self becomes centered. This is inner mastery. One of the key principles revealed through this body of teaching is that growth requires both inner reflection and outer responsibility. You are invited to move beyond victimhood, beyond blame, beyond dependency. To become self-responsible means to reclaim authorship of your life, to recognize that your thoughts, attitudes, and choices shape your reality. This is a radical shift of power, no longer waiting for permission, no longer waiting for rescue, no longer waiting for ideal conditions. Instead, conscious participation in the unfolding of life. This shift alone can transform destiny. Another central dimension of the book is the awakening of perception. You are invited to recognize cognitive biases, illusions of thinking, emotional distortions, and social manipulations. Why is this important? Because clarity is liberation. If perception is distorted, action is misguided. If thinking is unconscious, life becomes reactive. But when perception becomes clear, you see reality as it is, and from clarity comes wise action. From wise action comes harmony. From harmony comes inner peace. The practices contained in this field of teaching are subtle but powerful. Self-reflection, observation of thought, conscious speech, emotional regulation, meditative awareness, cultivation of silence, alignment with higher values. Each practice gradually reorganizes consciousness, and as inner noise quiets, something remarkable happens. Intuition becomes audible, insight becomes spontaneous, presence becomes natural, and the deeper dimension of life begins to reveal itself. What transformations may arise for those who sincerely enter this path? You may experience increased clarity of mind, greater emotional balance, freedom from automatic reactions, deeper sense of meaning, stronger resilience in the face of challenge, greater authenticity in relationships, a growing sense of inner independence. But beyond these psychological benefits, something more profound unfolds. You begin to experience unity. Unity between thought and action, unity between inner and outer life, unity between self and existence. This is the beginning of spiritual realization. Why are these teachings especially relevant today? Because modern life is saturated with distraction, noise, speed, manipulation, and fragmentation. People are overwhelmed with information but starving for wisdom. Connected digitally but disconnected inwardly. Stimulated constantly but rarely present. In such a world, reflection becomes revolutionary. Silence becomes medicine. Awareness becomes freedom. To question everything is not rebellion for its own sake. It is the restoration of consciousness. Who is this work for? It is for seekers who refuse superficial answers, for individuals who sense that life must have deeper meaning, for those willing to examine themselves honestly, for those who want to grow, not just believe. It is for the courageous mind and the sincere heart. Ultimately, this book serves awakening in a simple but profound way. It trains perception, refines character, strengthens awareness, expands understanding, and prepares the human being for conscious evolution. It does not impose a system, it opens a path, and that path leads from unconscious living to self-knowledge, to mastery, and to unity with the deeper intelligence of life. If something within you resonates, do not rush. Let the reflections work slowly. Let the questions unfold inside you. Let awareness deepen naturally. Approach the book not as information, but as meditation. Read slowly, pause often, observe yourself. Allow the teachings to become experience. And if you feel called to walk further, you may explore the book directly and receive its reflections in their full depth. You may enter deeper initiatory training through for mystics, where practice becomes transformation. And if your heart longs for structured path of conscious evolution, you may continue your journey within Ordo Mysticus, among those dedicated to awakening and inner mastery. The path is open. Walk it in awareness. In love, light, and service, I am Ray del Sol.